This arrest of Lawrence Fox with the Met Police, I think that it is an unlawful arrest, illegal arrest, and I think the Met Police have crossed the line. And I think that it is part of this attempt to take away rights. It's a subversion of the liberties and freedoms of the realm, because Lawrence Fox is the leader of a political party. Therefore, when he's representing the political party, he's using the free speech of that bill. That bill actually, whether we like it or not, the free speech actually really only applies when it's for purposes of casework to Parliament. And when Lawrence Fox is the leader of a political party and he is, speaking about what his party is doing, then you can't even speak, even if it's, because otherwise you couldn't entertain the ideas of making something that is illegal legal. If something is currently illegal, a political party has the power to make it legal again. And you have to be able to talk around the subject. And not only that, you have to talk about, if it was legal, you could do it. You also need to be able to, and this is really important in court, in legal proceedings, in law, in legal proceedings, in Parliament, you use hypothetical situations. It's creativity. It's actual creativity. So you can say, like, if you've got either a defense lawyer or a prosecutor and they are questioning people, they say, do you think that, if someone were to, steal a dog, do you think it would be appropriate behaviour for someone just to stand there and do nothing, right? Or whatever hypothetical situation it is, it didn't actually happen and it's not actually real, but you want to see, or you could even ask a jury, do you think the jury, this man stood there and did nothing while, someone got attacked. Do you think that is normal behaviour, right? Whatever it is, even if it's about ULEZ cameras or whatever it is about, unless you are a defendant and you're defending a charge, this is why in court, witnesses have got immunity and so forth, because they're there as if you're there as the jury, you're not on trial yourself. So in legal proceedings, anything that you disclose or things like that or matters, if you're not on trial, because the charges in the case are against a certain person. If things that person did come to light that are illegal, or someone else, but not if you've been called in for the purposes of a jury. And the proceedings include, for court, all of the police work are part of the case. This is the thing that the police really don't like. But it doesn't. This is to do with Just Stop Oil as well. I mean, they're arresting people from Just Stop Oil, Extinction Rebellion, loads of people, when we're supposed to have immunity. That tumultuous petitioning act clearly states that for actions and petitions that are addressed to the Parliament, the Palace of Westminster, it is only prosecuted by King's Bench Assizes, and then that was put a stop to as well. So it's not prosecuted through the courts. It's meant to be dealt with by Parliament, with committees. And the police were around at that time. But yet the law's still there. That's still the law. And there's lots of supporting legislation through modern acts. But, what can you expect when Max Hill, the Director of Public Prosecutions, has charged Angela Ditchfield with criminal damage, Criminal damage is if you snap, break, smash, cut, tear. That's criminal damage, particularly with the intent to damage it. But once it is defined as a particular thing, like, if you've got, if you pick up a piece of wood, it's not defined as food, right? You could try and eat it, but it's not officially food. We don't regard a piece of wood as a food, because humans don't eat pieces of wood. You could try and eat it, but the definition, the police want to define. The police want to say, if we can define it as this creatively, we can do it. But they can't, because it's already defined as something else. When it is defined as an advertisement, which it was with Angela Ditchfield, it's dealt with through the Town and Country Planning Act and its statutory instruments, the one that goes with it, the 1991 and the 2007 one. Everything's dealt with through the Act, even punishments for it. You can't undefine it because it is an advert. And the police are persisting on doing this. There's no actual fundamental law. All the immunities through these older bills and acts aren't actually anything to do with the police themselves. And I don't think the police like that fact. The police weren't around at that time. The police have got their own legislation for what they can and can't do. And a lot of that, we can do it. A lot of the things that it says that any person, not just the police, in quite a lot of acts. And I just don't think the police like it at the moment. And what they're doing is that the police are committing more and more offences themselves. When Lawrence Fox is leading a political party, he is defined as a political party leader, and is, when he's speaking in terms of what, he thinks we should do as a country, or as what he wants his policies for the party to be, or everything is in context with that. That's the reason that they had him on GB News. Now, whether or not he should or shouldn't be on there, there's legislation in the 2000 petitions elections rules where I've submitted to Ofcom and Advertising Standards Agency, and Rees-Mogg shouldn't really be on there. But it says MPs, elected MPs, and Bridgen's an MP, but Lawrence Fox isn't an elected MP, even though he's leading a political party. It doesn't actually say political party leaders, it only says elected MPs. So, but he is in a position where he's leading the party himself. So, this is the thing. Now, but this matter is over the arrest of Lawrence Fox for crimes. But even if they've brought these new acts of law in, the new acts of law have to be compatible with the fundamental rights. They can't override them or try and take them away, because those rights are fixed, and the new laws the legislate have got to be compatible with that. So, if someone asked Fox, about, ULEZ cameras and all those Blade Runners, if someone asked him about it, then is that other person provoking him? Did that other person provoke him into talking about it? But at the end of the day, he's allowed to say, if we were making the law up, he could say, Lawrence Fox can say, I could make that legal, he could have said, if I were Prime Minister, I'd make it legal again and do it. He could have said that. That's lawful. And also, hypothetically, he can talk about it hypothetically, like from the position of this, like, if I were to do it, he could say that. He could say, if I were to do it, or so forth. Because that is, in politics, when he's exploring, what the law should or shouldn't be, you've got to be able to explore what if. You have to be able to explore what if I did this, or what if I did that, or would you do this, or would you do that? That's what he has got protection and immunity, and the Met Police have crossed the line, and I don't think they like it. Even with the new laws that's put through, that those new laws can't corrode that free speech. And he's in a position where, see, this is the thing. If you want to change a law on something, and if you want to, say to the country, I think this should be legal, right? You actually need to start going into the subject and talking in and around it, hypothetical situations, and what your personal opinion is without being liable to be prosecuted. And Andrew Bridgen really should be doing something for Fox. I don't even know why he's been released on bail. But it's no surprise, because what can you expect after that Max Hill case? What can you expect after that Max Hill and Angela Ditchfield case? Blatant, actually ignoring 2 acts of law. So what the police are doing is despicable. It is despicable, and we have got protections. Even in America, they don't even know what their own First Amendment means with the freedom of the press. We've got issues with people not understanding the law, and the fact is that the opposition side, when they don't really want it to be the law, it's getting lied about, and they're undermining it, and a lot of people in the parliament and government are, because they no longer want it to be the law, and they're trying to bring laws in to make certain things illegal around it and really chip away at it when you can't, which is kind of what, they've done with that new policing bill in a way. All this locking on stuff. A lot of that locking on stuff doesn't make sense, with the bikes and so forth, because, it's almost like saying, well, you're banning locking bikes onto things. You lock yourself onto a bike when you have those shoes, you have special shoes that lock into the pedals. You're locked onto the bike, It does seem ridiculous, the concept of it. But then again, Tice has been, Tice with the bank accounts, for his political party and so forth. He's not really been very good with the law in that. I mean, what can you do if you don't have money to get lawyers? And a lot of the time, the lawyers don't really understand it full on properly.